You're back on Outside the Beltway. I'm John Fredericks, and I am your blowtorch of free speech in America. And thank you for being with us today. Got a special treat for you. We're going to Nicole's side. She's a member of the the new federal state of China and its mission. We've got a couple of clips here that we're going to roll those in a moment. And guys, when you have those, just let me know. We were a little late getting them in. That's my bad. Nicole, let's just start with this while we're waiting to get these clips up, if I can. Your position at the Federation is that the CCP hates President Trump, even though he developed a pretty good relationship when he was president with Xi of China. What is your basis, Nicole, on that situation, on that position?
Good morning, John. Thank you for having me. So my name is Nicole, and I'm a member of the new federal state of China, founded by Mr. Mao Guo on June 4th, 2020. So Mr. Mao Guo broke exclusive news from 2 years ago that Trump is the most hated political opponent to Xi Jinping, and the CCP planned a weaponization of the U.S. legal system to stop President Trump from the 2024 presidential bid, because CCP wants to take over and to take down America, and President Trump happens to be in their way.
Why their relationship, Xi's relationship with the president was pretty good. However, President Trump did put on the tariffs, and we gained millions of dollars from that, and he tried to level the playing field so that we can bring our manufacturing back. How big of what impact on the CCP do you think, Nicole, that President Trump's tariffs had on their apparent hatred now for President Trump?
Let's not forget, the CCP is the world's most evil dictatorship. They never intend to play fair game with America. And so they have one final goal, which is to take down and take over America. So whether they have a personal good relationship with President Trump is a personal issue. But if President Trump is going to run for the 2024 presidential, is going to become a 2024 presidential candidate, it becomes a major threat to the CCP, because President Trump's policy is very tough on the communist China.
The CCP obviously has been infiltrating the United States, Nicole, in a lot of ways. I want to start with one of your assertions is that they've infiltrated the FBI, the Department of Justice, through their BGY strategy.
Yeah.
Can you enlighten us as to what exactly that is and to the extent of it, Nicole?
Absolutely. So the BGY strategy is what the CCP has used to corrupt the Western politicians and people in the power. B stands for blue, which stands for the technology transfer, cyber attack, and gold. G stands for gold, which is to use money to corrupt the politicians and businessmen and lawmakers and lawyers. And Y stands for yellow, which is to use sex bribe as a blackmail to coerce complete obedience. So there's so many American law firms doing business in communist China. So how are they going to practice law in a lawless country? So basically what they do is to help the CCP get enriched by taking CCP-owned and PLA-owned companies to the U.S. capital markets. And that's how the U.S. Law firms got rich. And once they become so successful, they got picked to be the judges and federal prosecutors or serving for the United States of America.
So basically, this is a CCP strategy, right? That they've
yes.
they've invested in Nicole long term to infiltrate our FBI or Department of Justice, basically through these schemes and scams that they have. Talk to me, Nicole, about why the CCP is buying up U.S. farmland, especially in relation to our military installations. What's their plot there, you think?
Well, America is CCP's enemy number one. So getting surveillance on America's military installation is very important. And so buying the U.S. farmland near the military installation becomes a natural solution to their problem. They want to find out what American military people are doing. And so that's why they buy the farmland near the military installation.
It's unbelievable. All right, I've got one of these clips up that I'm gonna run, guys. Get to the CCP cut one.
最重要的是，你们要知道，七哥在40几天前就告诉他，你
声音一点听不见啊，声音全
法
听不见，
干扰你，
干扰。
包括川普会在纽约发起他刑事诉讼，会用法院干掉川普，让你永远没有财产。不是美国决定，是共产党。意味着什么？投资者相信文贵的两个情况。川普和班农相信我，或者不相信我。班农绝对相信，他不认为共产党有这么大的利益。40多天前，七哥就告诉他，你不会亏，这是共产党做的事。你若不相信，咱往下边看。
All right, what is your reaction to that, Nicole?
Well, that shows clearly Trump's indictment is a natural outcome of the CCP's plan to stop President Trump from its 2024 presidential bid. And it shows that America's legal system has been weaponized by the CCP to take down its most formidable American political opponent, and that is the U.S. President Trump. And it also shows the U.S. politics is a one-party's game by the Chinese Communist Party. And in this country, the ruling party is no longer either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. It's a Chinese Communist Party. So if Jim Jordan's Weaponization Committee or the 118th Congress does not start an immediate investigation into the CCP's infiltration and weaponization of the U.S. legal system, the CCP will pretty much determine who will be the next U.S. president.
How will they do that, Nicole?
Well, just look into Mr. Mao's lawsuit. The CCP has funded more than 70 lawsuits against Mr. Mao in the U.S. courthouses, all funded and orchestrated by the CCP, and using the American proxies working inside the justice system. We just talked about the BGY plan used by the CCP to corrupt U.S. law practitioners. And these law practitioners or the system actors, they have been enriched by the CCP, they have been compromised by the CCP, and they're the ones who are sitting above the law. They are presiding over Mr. Mao's case. So if you investigate into Mao's lawsuit launched against him in a U.S. court by the CCP, you will be able to find out who are the colluders, the American sellout and traitors who have been in bed with the CCP and helping the CCP to weaponize the U.S. legal system to destroy the U.S. Free election. And basically, the indictment against Trump planned by the CCP is the highest form of the CCP's weaponization of this legal system and the highest form of the CCP's interference with the U.S. presidential election.
So you really, I mean, you're making the assumption now that the Chinese Communist Party is basically infiltrating U.S. government, U.S. Department of Justice, FBI. Obviously, they're in colleges, lots of money floating around. Just based on the research you've done, Nicole, and I know you're very, very well educated here in this. You think Joe Biden has compromised this money that was wired to him that we're trying to get to the bottom of? Just what do you think is the the genesis of that? And do you think that has any influence over what's happening?
Well, I would suggest everybody pay close attention to Jim Jordan's Weaponization Committee's congressional hearing and James Comer's presentation about what they have found out about their investigation into that case. And I'll leave that to the Weaponization Committee and the House Judicial and Oversight Committee. What I want to say that the CCP's plan to corrupt the U.S. lawmakers does not differentiate the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. For example, in the case of Mr. Mao's Guo, the CCP has entailed two prominent RNC, the Republican National Committee's donor, and very prominent two individual donors, Elliot Brody and Stephen Wen. They have been part of the CCP scheme to influence and infiltrate in the Department of Justice and the former White House, trying to return Mr. Mao's Guo back to China. And just pay close attention to Press Michel's trial currently going on in Washington, D.C. So the New York federal prosecutor tried to stop Mr. Mao's Guo from testifying in Press Michel's trial currently going on in Washington, D.C., because that case is a perfect example of how the CCP has weaponized the DOJ, because that entails the help of one former DOJ employee, George Higginbotham. He was he walked into the CCP embassy in Washington, D.C.
I gotta bounce, Nicole. I gotta bounce. I'll have you back. Nicole, I gotta bounce. Thank you.
Okay.